It is finally the month of May, and my friends, the Chaos Queens, do this event every single month of May called May Chaos Reign. During this event, you basically follow some prompts that allow you to challenge yourself, whether it be in writing, reading, I think there's self-care, and watching and making. So there are several categories in which you can challenge yourself, and you get prompts dropped in weekly, so you can wait until the prompts get dropped, or you can cheat and look at the prompts in advance in case you need to know them in advance for some reasons. That's what I'm going to be doing because I'd like to plan at least for the first 2 weeks of May, because I am going off on my belated honeymoon in May, so I'm going to be back in London on the 17th of May. This year's theme is called Chaos in Bloom, and it's all about planning a party. So the Chaos Queens have prepared a little quiz that if you take, it will tell you what sort of party you are planning, and I loved the result. For me personally, it was a Regal party, which 100%, that's exactly what I want to do. So based on the type of party that you get, you can decide to follow that path and make sure that your party is cohesive, or you can change your mind and follow only the reading prompts, or only the watching prompts, or only the writing prompts, whatever you want to make out of the event, essentially. So the way that it functions is that you get prompt cards that will tell you first your location, and that was the first one that they dropped today. So if I'm to follow my party, which is the Regal party, the location I would have to pick is the reading prompt because it's in the palace grounds. So the prompt would then be to read a book with a floral cover. This works very well for me because I do actually plan on reading more this month if I can, because I don't really want to be writing too much since I'm still sort of revising drafts, etc. So I think what I'm going to be doing is the reading prompt. However, I'm also really interested in the watching prompt, and that's something I would probably naturally do anyway because I'm currently watching a lot of Korean dramas, Korean movies. So yeah, the first prompt for the first week is locations, and actually I think there is a calendar. So today is the 2nd of May and it's the kickoff stream, which Marta is currently hosting, and I'm filming this during her stream. Then on Sunday 5th we get locations and decorations. I'm gonna spoil myself before Sunday so I can plan a little bit. Decorations, topiary, rearrange or reorganize an area or in your residence. I'm actually going to be able to do the topiary one, which I feel like it might be Regal. It sounds very Regal to me, and it feels like that would be the case on Palace grounds, which is where my location is anyway. So I feel like I could do this, and because I'm going on holiday, I need to swap my wardrobes because I need to get my spring wardrobe out finally, because we had 2 weeks of absolute shit weather, so it's been back to winter, so I didn't actually do this. And if I do this, it'll allow me to make my suitcase and it will fill in the self-care prompt. So for locations, I'm gonna pick a book that I'm going to be reading, and it says read a book with a floral cover. My TBR shelf is right there behind you guys over there, so I'm gonna have a little look through and see if I can find anything that looks floral enough. Okay, so I have 2 books on my shelves that are floral-ish. I have Wayward by Emilia Hart, and I have The Book of Magic by Alice Hoffman, both of which are, funnily enough, witchy books. I think there's a part of me that thinks I should be picking up Wayward because I already own it on my Kindle as well, and I don't have to actually take the book with me, which is a big, thick hardback book, and I can just have my Kindle with me on the plane, for instance. That would be fine. There's another part of me that is tempted to get The Book of Magic because I like to listen to Alice Hoffman's books, and I feel like it would be nice to have an audiobook format as well. Okay, so today is Sunday the 5th of May. My hair looks like crap, it doesn't matter. I am going to be doing the second prompt, which is the one for self-care, and that's going to be the one where I rearrange an area of my residence. So the topiary prompt, and the way I'm going to be doing this is by swapping my winter and summer wardrobes so that I can finally fucking pack my bags for my holiday, because we're literally leaving on Tuesday, so not tomorrow, the day after. Okay, so I've done the upstairs. There is nothing left on the bed or on the chair. All of the boxes that were here are now gone. So now I still have this mess to sort. Okay, I am officially done. It is 6:41 in the afternoon, which means I've spent most of my afternoon doing this. I think I started at like 2 p.m. But that is my self-care prompt completed. And I think I'm just gonna stop working, because even though it's technically a self-care prompt, I'm tired. This was exercise, this was work, this was a chore. I guess I will report back when I've completed my second prompt. Okay, so I am clearly on my honeymoon, my holiday, on my little terrace. So I have been reading Wayward, and I've read 105 pages or something like that. So I finished at the end of a chapter. And I don't know how I feel about it. I think it's really well written, but it is very depressing. Like, it's just a very depressing story. And I'm not entirely sure that I want to keep on reading this on holiday, just because of it's just not very joyous as a read. But it is interesting. So basically, it's about three women. You have three different POVs, three witches of the same family. And the first POV is a woman who is running away from her abusive husband. So she's running away from her abusive husband, and she ends up at this cottage that belongs to her family, that was left to her by her great aunt that she never really knew. The second POV is the great aunt in question when she was a young girl of 16 years old and had a awful father. I don't really know much yet. And then the third POV is their ancestor, who I guess was maybe like the
original witch of the family on the day of her witch trial. So she's being accused of witchcraft, and she's being, she's at a trial, and there are witnesses against her, etc. So not not very joyous in general as a topic. Like, it's interesting but not fun. And maybe I need something that's a little bit more of a beach read at the moment. So I have read 100 pages of it, so I am going to continue reading it because I am intrigued. It's well written, etc., etc. But I think I need something else to read as well, because I was hoping for something more relaxing, and this isn't it. I've lost my little microphone top, so the little thing that stops the wind noises. I hope the sound will be okay regardless. But anyway, today's Saturday, the 11th of May, and last night I finished reading Wayward by Emily Hart. I ended up rating it 3 stars. I was right in thinking that was a bit depressing, and it continued being quite depressing and not the most joyous story. I didn't hate it because I would not have rated it 3 stars if I had hated it. It was just, it was well written enough that I wanted to continue reading it. I wanted to know what happened by the end. And I did read it quite quickly, probably also because I'm on holiday. I don't know how to express my thoughts. I feel like, one, it did not have enough magic. It did not have enough witchcraft. The point at which you finally get to, oh my god, they are doing this on purpose, it is actually witchcraft, is like 90% in the book, like 85, 90% in the book, which is way too late. A lot of the rest of the magic before that is hinted at. You don't really have it. Like, there's not actual witchcraft. It's just like, oh, she's in tune with nature and the animals all flock to her, and it's like she understands nature and she understands the insects, a lot of insects. If you have a fear of insects, do not read this book. Like, just do not. It is not for you. There is so many mentions of insects all the freaking time. And then the second thing that I did not love is, I understand that this is a feminist story and that this is about women, being connected to each other and helping each other out through time and being from the same bloodline and all that. But apart from one guy who's the brother of one of the women, every other man was an abuser or a rapist. It's all awful, all awful, awful, awful men. And I get that that may be the story that I was about, but I just felt icky. Like, there isn't a single good relationship with a man in there, at least not a romantic one. I wasn't expecting a romance, but I wasn't expecting it to be that bad, if that makes sense. Like, I was just expecting to maybe have hints at, like, in the past, this has happened, and maybe she had a good relationship with the father of blah blah or whatever. It just it just wasn't there at all. And I think maybe that's not for me. Maybe I don't hate men, and therefore that wasn't for me. And I felt like this book was very hateful towards men. Like, it wasn't just feminism, it was also I hate men. And I don't know how I felt about that. I might be wrong. You may have read the book, you may feel completely differently about it, but this is how I felt about it, and it made me feel icky. So at the very beginning, so this isn't really a spoiler, one of the reasons you discover that Kate, the woman from today, is running away from her abusive husband or partner is because she is pregnant with his child. And there's a moment where she decides whether she wants to keep the child or not, and she dreams that it's a girl. And when she pictures the child, if it's a boy, she pictures it would look like the abusive man she's running away from. And if it's a girl, she pictures that she would look like her. She almost explicitly says that her reason for wanting to keep the child is because it's going to be a girl and not a boy. And that made me feel icky as well. There's other stories of pregnancy and having children, and every single one of the instances is described in a very scientific manner, similarly that it is when it comes to, relationship with men. And it was either rape or very scientific, and like at some point one of the women is like, I'm gonna want to have a child, therefore I'm gonna ask this man to put his seed inside of me. And like, that's it, that's the description of it. There is no more sentences about it, we don't really dwell around it. And again, maybe that's for you, it's not for me. Maybe that's fine, maybe you don't care about that. I did, it felt icky, and I don't know, it was a lot, and I think it was just too many things that were piling up. So yeah, that's sort of my conclusions on it. I still rated it 3 stars because I do think it was well written. I enjoyed some of the story. So there's the one about the ancestor, Alpha, who lives in the 1600s and is going through, a witch trial and everything. I quite liked her story and discovering what had happened. And that was the most intriguing one out of the three, I feel like. So I was definitely looking forward the most to her POV, because you had the three POV of the three women. But um, it remained at a 3 stars because of all the other elements. So yeah, I'm gonna stop talking about this book now, and I think I'm gonna see what my next prompt is. So the next two prompts are actually coming tomorrow on Sunday, but I finished the first two, so let's see what they are. So the first one is food, and the second one is beverages. For the food item, so one of them is people watching. I'm definitely going to be doing that, and I have been doing that. There's one that is to read in a cafe, which I think I could take my book with me and do that today, actually. And also to read something short. And I have taken with me Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which isn't exactly the most joyous read either, but I think it's going to be more fun. So that might be my next read. Today, I think we might go visit some archaeological site because the weather is really crap. Yesterday, it was sort of bad, but it was really nice to be out in the city because we went to see Farah and then we went to see Iya. And today we might continue visiting because it's still not swimming pool weather. I'm back home after my holiday, my honeymoon, and I need to check what the next prompts are. I did, in fact, have a lot of people watching, actually, did that a lot, and did, in fact, read in a cafe. However, I was reading from my phone, so I couldn't film myself do that since that was my only camera. So I did do the prompts that I wanted to do. However, I didn't film everything. So the next prompt is the dress code one, and I think what I'm going to be doing is the costume party one because it's so easy for me to find a spooky movie to watch, and I've been watching a lot of spooky movies or TV shows in general. So I think I will be doing that prompt, and there's a few that I'm interested in. So I think that's my next prompt.
Okay, it is now the 24th of May. It's been a hell of a week work-wise since we've come back from a honeymoon, so I've not really had time to do any sort of update on what I've been up to in terms of my reading and everything, so yeah, let's do this now. So back to the calendar, we've been on entertainment and dress code. Now, dress code, I filled in the watching prompt, which was costume party, watch a spooky movie, at the same time as I also filled the older locations prompt, which was greenhouse and which was watch a foreign film. I guess in my mind as I'm planning this party, you could say that there is a greenhouse on the palace grounds, which makes perfect sense. So the entertainment thing, here's what's going on. I have done the reading, which I'm still currently doing and I'm going to continue doing for the rest of the coming week, which is a VIP guest, read a book by an author tuber. And the way that I'm doing this is I'm actually currently beta reading / critique partnering for my two critique partners, Hudson and Anna, and they're both technically author tubers, even though Hudson has not been posting videos anymore, but she is still someone who counts as an author tuber, and I'm currently reading her book, so it doesn't have a title, it doesn't have a project title. She literally said if you mention it while vlogging, say it's Hudson's Gothic Project. So that's what I'm currently reading, so I feel like it counts as my VIP guest prompt. Now, I am also in the watching prompt for the entertainment, which unfortunately is clowns, because I am actually going to attend a chaos stream. I've been asked by Marta and I'm excited to do it, so that's going to be my clowns prompt. And then looking at the calendar that's set for the prompt, so we have a party, but definitely I'm going to continue reading Hudson's book in that time anyway, and I think I'm planning on potentially finishing by the end of the month anyway, so it might fit perfectly well in the timeline of Chaos in Bloom. Today is Tuesday the 28th of May and I have finished reading Hudson's book, so one of my two critique partners and 1/3 of the Lazy Gang. I consider her to be an author tuber even though she doesn't post videos anymore, so that counts as my last prompt that I wanted to do, and I have just finished reading it and leaving my last comment on there. It's not shared with her yet because I will be writing an edit letter first and then resharing everything back to her when that's done. So that's the plan, but it's not even the end of the month yet and I did it, so I'm feeling really happy with myself and with all of the prompts that I have achieved.
Kind of think I have accidentally done Malin's birthday party.
You literally, I think, have all the prompts I have as well, so I think our parties are, we're hosting a party together at this point.
We're a joint party. Okay, and this last one for the dress code, I have to appeal the court, so let me know if I could get away with this. For full regalia, reading a book with a royal word or image. The only other book I read apart from The Wisterious Society was Malin's project, which is affectionately called Space Princess Project.
Oh yeah. I would say that fits the prompt a lot closer than what I did for that prompt, so I'm gonna say it counts.
Excellent, excellent. Then everyone has to come to our joint party in full regalia.
I was writing them down at some point because I was like, I don't remember, so I need to like write them down. So we've got the palace ground, which
Yes.
but I also have the greenhouse. So I think,
such a vibe.
you know, there's a greenhouse in the palace ground. Like, that makes sense to me, you know?
It's giving
Yeah, that
Bridgerton.
totally works.
Right? Decorations, I have topiary and paper chains, which I think
Beautiful.
sounds really cute together. Beverages, I have champagne, but there's also sparkling water for the thirsty girlies out there. And there is also tea and coffee because this is an all day and night party. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
And then food-wise, I also have 3-tiered cake, but I also have finger sandwiches. So I think that way we have a little bit more options than just a cake.
I guess we can round it out, yeah.
Entertainment, I do have the VIP guest as well. I feel like we're each other's VIP guest at this point.
I love it.
Maybe we can find, what if our VIP guest is Marta? Because
Yeah.
she's one of the Chaos Queens, so she's literally a queen. So we've invited the queen to our
We've
party.
invited the queen, and that's why we have to
Aw.
wear full regalia.
Exactly.
I
It's all making
invitation.
sense.
I will say this, you forgot that we do have clowns because we're on this stream right now. So, however, the way I was seeing it is it's like almost like we've got like a burlesque show thing with, you know, like sort
Yeah.
of elegant, cool clowns thing going on, you
Like a
know?
Hans Zimmer
I
clown.
was thinking court justice for mine.
Yeah. Maybe they're also like trapeze artists.
Yes, exactly. That's the vibe I'm thinking of. And then finally, my dress code is costume parties. I'm thinking it can be full regalia, but like we're doing a Louis XIV party or something. It's a
Mhm.
costume party based in, you know, France, Versailles, Louis XIV
Yes.
vibe.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, everyone needs to come in like a huge dress.
I'm just saying, our party is popping. Like, it's the best party ever.
I'm pretty satisfied. I'm really happy with this.
So I will end this vlog here. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed myself doing this event for the very first time. I feel like it was so nice to have so many choices amongst the prompts and being able to sort of make them work together even if they're not in the same actual category, in the same type of party. And I think it was really nice to have a variety of types of prompts. Like some of them were more hardworking and some of them were more relax and chill and, you know, enjoy yourself. I think it was nice to see not everything has to be productivity and you don't need to turn anything into toxic productivity for sure. So I enjoyed that. On that note, I will, as I said, end this vlog here. So hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like. That always lets me know whether you enjoyed this kind of content. Consider subscribing, ringing that bell, all that jazz, and I will see you guys in the next one.